Cleric Arbiter build. Please wait. Loading. Wow. Wow. Wow.
What's going on, everyone? How y'all doing? You know who it is. I'm on Neverwinter. I want to share my cleric builds before I take my break or go to the first ascendant, which is right around the corner. So I might as well share something with you guys before I go. And I'm not 90k, if you notice. I'm only 65, and I barely have anything. Look, I don't even have blasphemies. Yep. And the dragon veil is not even giving me the boxes out the dragon's eyes to give me something better, but this is what I'm working with and it works. I'm only using this DPS class for the campaigns just to get through. If you notice, now those videos are from last week that I saved and from earlier this week when I was doing my weeklies. So those are a little bit outdated. There's nothing that I have that I made today. So all that stuff was previously before we got the new mounts and the companions from the event. Here are my enchantments. I had to move stuff around because it made me go too far into the red. Yeah, I had all this stuff over here and then it made me go too far. Now, before we got the new mounts and the companion for free, I wasn't in red. I was perfect. All I had was 90% power. Everything else was white. But now I'm over, so now I have to reconfigure stuff, but not just yet. I am a little over my critical strike, but that's okay. You'd rather be a little bit over than way too much. Mounts. Now, I'm bringing my stuff over for my wizard, but I'm not done with her campaign yet. I still got like a week or two. But once I finish with the wizard, I'm going to be bringing stuff over here. But just to show you with the stuff that I have, I'm doing very well. And especially with my healer build that's coming up next after this, I'm doing Reaper, I'm doing everything with her. And you'll see. So, I have the Zodar. So damage reduction and damage dealt, that's a win-win. I'm using Armor Breaker, critical severity, combined rating. Companions. Alright, Baby Deep Crow was only like, I got lucky. They're usually 200,000. I got mine for about 165. That was free. Before that one, I had the Spider. But 7.5 movement speed. They're not a shared account, but hey, you know what? 7.5%. I can't complain. I move a lot faster now. This is just a filler, 375. I'm just filling it up because I got to get another 7.5. Black Dragon. This one costs a little bit of money at the Zen market, but I believe you could buy it with diamonds. Let's give it a whirl. I guess you can't. No, I don't think. Oh, there's one right there, 3.2 mil. But they're pretty expensive. But hey, you can still buy one. Yeah, they're pretty expensive. Oh, where was I? Oh yeah, companions. And compies. Compies, you get them for free by doing Reaper. You get 30 tokens. You're able to get the companion box, and voila, 7.5 power. Alright. Now, Boons, like I said, I just pretty much started with her about 2-3 weeks ago. And this is what I have so far. I'm going to start putting more points into the damage now. But I wanted to get the essentials, you know, like resistance, movement speed, power, crit, critical severity. Now, powers. This is the bread and butter, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter about your companions, your mounts. It's what you do with your powers. Now, I'm going to explain this. You pick what you like from here. So, for instance, I like the Lance of Faith. It does Burning Judgment. I don't use it a lot, but I use it to proc Burning Judgment. I use Scared Flame 95% of the time. These are the two I like the most, so that's what I use. Now, same thing with encounters. You can use Daunting Light if you like it. You like Geese, use that. I use Searing Javelin. That's my bread and butter. If you notice from the videos, this is what I'm using. Now, Forge Hammer Flames, this is what I use when I have one target left, a mini boss, or I'm on heroic event. I'm using that. And I'm using Prophecy of Doom. If you notice Prophecy of Doom, over the next 10 seconds, 30% of the most damage you deal to the target is stored and dealt at the end of the effect's duration. So, that is a DOT, a damage over time. So, I call the Zodar to come in so it does the reduced damage and 12% damage on top of that. And then I drop the Forge Hammer, and then in 10 seconds it's going to proc and it's going to insta-kill him. No problem. Now, Guardian of Faith. I use this only when it's single target. Or, like I said, when I'm in heroic event and there's a whole group of them, I call one of them down. Most likely the most difficult enemy that's there. It's going to stun them, and it's going to cause Burning Judgment, which is good because it's going to proc. And I also use Celestial Prominence. I like this one a lot. So, just like it says, it summons the energy at the target location. So it does a radiant, like a little circle. It does, you know, it's on the floor. It's like a sun. There's literally like a baby sun on the floor. Do I have it filled up? How do I? I don't have it full. So, but it shows you that it's a little sun on the floor. It pulses, and once it I let it pulse once or twice, and then you use the daily again, and it explodes. It detonates. Which, that's what I do. I let it pulse one time to the mob, and then I detonate it, which it does a lot of damage. I'm using Doomsayer. Whenever you use an encounter power that inflicts a negative conflict to an enemy, you gain effect of Doomsayer, increases damage by 10%. You can't go wrong with extra damage. And I use Divine Equilibrium. Increase the damage dealt by 15% when your current divinity is exactly half. Now, this effect decreases when your divinity becomes further away from this point, but you can regain divinity as DPS. As a cleric, you can't. You gotta work for it. Now, you just hold the R1 button, and you see, I could gain back my divinity. You just hold it, and you don't even have to hold it for that long. 1, 2, 3, and you're back to half. And then boom, you use your encounters again, and then you're back. See? So it fills up pretty fast. Now, like I said, you could use other ones, deal 5% more damage when there's no party members. This is good. Pilgrim's Light, but I prefer the two that I'm using. Now, like I said, I like Piercing Javelin, so I chose the Piercing Javelin. It grants you the at-will 10% chance to affect the Piercing Javelin, which guarantees you the next Searing Javelin will critical strike. It only takes me 2. 3 if it's like a harder boss or a heroic event or something. But mostly by 1 or 2, they're dead. If you notice my little video that I showed you at the beginning, I chose Focus Light. Forge Master's Flame, that's what I've been using, now grants you the effect of Focus Light. Focus Light enhances Daunting Light, limiting to a single target. Now they go hand in hand, but I'm not doing that. You could use Divinity Glow, now generates a full stack of Burning Judgment, but you're trying to gain stacks, you know, so you're gonna gain it quick. Sudden Verdict. Encounter powers which generate Radiant Judgment or Burning Judgment now have 25% to instantly fill the Judgment gauge. It actually fills up pretty, like, after just throwing it like 2-3 times, it fills up and I get to use it again. You can use Inner Balance if you like, but, you know, I'm not really doing any combat advantage because I'm not using it for dungeons. But if I was, I would re-roll it and use Inner Balance. But since I'm playing alone, just doing campaigns, Sudden Verdict is great. Critical Sun. Whenever Celestial Prominences deals critical damage, you may cast Celestial Promise again without spending any action points. Once again, I put them together, you see? You gotta match them up. This one, you can go either way, or you can just choose none. But Perfect Balance, I chose Perfect Balance. Encounter powers would generate Radiant Judgment, now grants Radiant Shift. Also generates Burning Judgment, now grants Burning Shift. This may stack up 4 times, increase damage dealt by 1%. More damage is more damage, but you know what I mean. Now, I don't really do Radiant and Burning Judgment at the same time. On heroic events I do, because I would like to proc the Burning Judgment and then I go back to Scarred Flame for Radiant, so they could take a DOT. But you could also use Angel of Death. and counter powers will cost Divinity, now grants Angelic Inspiration, which reach you 26 stacks to convert it into Angelic Penance. Use Channeling Divinity to immediately gain. Yeah, see, but that's too much of this. You gotta keep doing that. I don't do a lot of this. You know what I mean? I don't do a lot of that. I only do it when it's like a heroic event. But when I'm just going through the campaign, doing a quick mission or open world enemies, they die pretty quickly, so I'm not really using that. But if I'm running a dungeon, that's what I'll put. I would re-roll it and put Inner Balance and put Angel of Death if you're running dungeons as a DPS cleric.